Hey everyone, this is your stimulus update for Saturday, August 1st. This stimulus update is for the second stimulus check and the next stimulus package. As of right now, we still don't know what's going to happen with the next stimulus bill, the one that's trying to be negotiated between the House and the Senate at this time. We've seen a lot of negotiations, but not much movement on either side or concessions on either side, and it seems like they're really far apart on a deal. However, this week, Fox News met with Senator Josh Gottheimer and Senator Tom Reed, and both Gottheimer and Reed were both optimistic that a deal is going to be done. Gottheimer said, "I think we're going to get this deal done this coming week. With the Senate coming in this next week, this is really when I believe it'll get negotiated, and I presume that the House will come back at the back end of the week to vote on it." In addition to Senator Gottheimer, Senator Tom Reed also had some positive words about the passage of the next bill. And he said, quote, "Obviously, we have to do a deal." He also told this to Fox News, "Not to do anything is a disservice to the American people. The institution of Congress is better than that." Well, I'm glad at least a couple senators think that Congress is better than this and that they're going to be able to get a deal done between the House and the Senate this coming week. Reed also implied that Congress is a lot like a lot of us and likes to procrastinate things and do things right at the last minute. And he thinks that they will get something done. I really hope that these two are right and that the House and the Senate can come to an agreement this coming week before the August 7th deadline. This past week, the Senate and the White House offered to pass a quick bill which would extend the unemployment benefit of $600 per week for one more week to avoid a lapse in coverage for those that just lost the unemployment benefit that expired yesterday. Nancy Pelosi, when asked about this one-week extension, she basically said that it would be worthless and implied that the sides are so far apart right now that it doesn't make any sense for a short-term extension. So, they are not in agreement on so many things on this next stimulus package. However, I think the next stimulus package, to have the most impact on individuals, should include three key components. And I don't think they're actually that far apart on these three key components. The first key component, and number one of the next stimulus package, is a $1,200 stimulus check to individuals and to those that are claimed as dependents on someone else's taxes. Those on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, and VA benefits would be recipients of this $1,200 stimulus check. The only sticking point on this stimulus check to individuals is the amount to dependents. The Senate plan included $500 for dependents, while the House plan includes $1,200 for dependents. The Senate plan does not put a limit on the number of dependents that it could include. Basically, they just need to come to an agreement and decide what that amount is for dependents, somewhere between $500 and $1,200, and get that done. The stimulus checks have also been proposed to be higher than $1,200, and even President Trump this past week said they should be higher than $1,200 and should be bigger than $1,200. However, neither the House nor the Senate right now has the votes to pass a stimulus check of more than $1,200. So the stimulus check will be $1,200 as long as they can get this deal done. The second key component that is going to be in the next stimulus package should be to extend unemployment benefits. 30 million Americans as of yesterday, and probably even the week before in most states, 30 million Americans are no longer going to be receiving the $600 federal unemployment benefit on top of their state's unemployment benefit. That $600 benefit expired yesterday. Both the House and the Senate do want to extend the unemployment benefit, although they do disagree on the amount. The House simply wants to extend the $600 benefit. However, the Senate has argued, and I've actually heard people that know people that have had this same argument, that they do not want to go back to work because they're making more money on their unemployment than they were at their previous job. That's the biggest issue that the Senate has with this proposal. The House has said, well, your proposal of 70% of an employer's or an employee's previous pay is too difficult for states to calculate, because a lot of states have old computer systems and old systems that can't calculate this based on an employee's previous pay. Basically, what they need to do is come up with a fixed amount that's somewhere between $0 and $600 and decide, okay, we're going to give a fixed amount of, $200, $400 or whatever it is per week. And then they can just say, okay, that's the amount. States, that's the amount on top of what you're giving out. And then they don't have to calculate anything. It's just a fixed amount. But it needs to be somewhere between $0 and $600 so that the states don't have to calculate it, but also probably lower than $600 so that people aren't making more than they were at their regular jobs. That's probably what's going to happen, and the unemployment will be extended as part of the next stimulus package. The last key component of the next stimulus package is the eviction moratorium. That also just expired. People who are not able to pay rent and are vulnerable to being evicted now no longer have that protection from previous bills that were passed. President Trump said that this would be part of the next stimulus bill, a re-upping of the eviction moratorium. And Larry Kudlow, his economic advisor, also said the same thing, that an eviction moratorium would be part of the next bill. The House also wants to renew the eviction moratorium, and I think the Senate is probably going to get on board with the eviction moratorium as well. So I don't think the eviction moratorium is going to hold anything up on the next stimulus plan. Those are the three key things that would most directly affect individuals as part of the next stimulus plan. I don't understand why they can't just say, okay, let's pass a bill with these three things, get people the stimulus checks, get people's unemployment benefits renewed, and get the eviction moratorium renewed. Everything else in this bill is kind of pet projects, pork, and just anything that the senators and the representatives and the House of Representatives just kind of wanted to throw in and tack onto this bill. If they would just clean up this bill and just make it simple and straightforward and just say, okay, this is it, and this is it, and this is it, it would pass, and I think it would pass with flying colors, and then American people would get the individuals and the help that they need so that they can move on with their lives. So those are kind of the main things in the next bill. However, I do think that they're going to get a bill done, and this is why. The national conventions for both the Democrat Party and the Republican Party are in August. The Democrat National Convention is August 17th through August 20th, and the Republican National Convention is shortly thereafter. These conventions are used to hype up their parties and get people excited to vote for them in November. If they don't pass a stimulus package between the two of them by this August 7th deadline, those conventions are going to be even more ridiculous than they already are. People are going to look at those conventions and say, really, you're hyping us up, you're trying to hype us up, we can't pay for food, we can't pay for our rent or our mortgage, and you're trying to hype us up to vote for you. Guess what, incumbents? Guess what, everybody that's still in office? You're gone. We're getting rid of you. And I've already seen a bunch of comments from people that have said that. I'm not voting for anyone that's in office currently, and I'm just going to vote them all out, Democrat or Republican. You're all gone. So I think that this deal gets done just because these people are politicians and they realize people are struggling, people are hurting, and they also realize that if they don't, that they're going to be voted out. So that's one of the reasons why I think it's going to get done. That deal, I think when they get it done, it's going to include those three things I talked about before: a stimulus check, an extension of the unemployment benefits, and an eviction moratorium. For those of you that are wondering about the first stimulus check and still haven't received your first stimulus check, they are still going out. The IRS is sending out direct deposits each week. They're sending them out usually on Wednesdays, and this past Wednesday, there were a bunch of people that got their stimulus checks, the first stimulus check, because I saw them in the comment section. Also, expats. The IRS has said that expats with US-based bank accounts should receive their direct deposit stimulus checks at the latest of August 14th. I also saw quite a few expats in my comment section this past week that received their stimulus checks. So congratulations to those of you that finally got your stimulus checks. And to the rest of you, the second stimulus checks, I think they will be coming. I think this next stimulus package is going to be It's going to happen, and they're going to reconcile their differences. It is pretty ridiculous that they've waited this long and that they're still trying to just fight back and forth, but it's going to happen. Once again, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed already, be sure to subscribe to my channel. And please like this video if you found this content helpful, and I will talk to you again soon.